2018 Genesis G80 Sport 3.3T AWD Review. Interior and Tech. If this was 1992, the first descriptors to come to mind about the interior of any Korean car would be cheap and disposable. But it's not 1992 anymore. Mullets are no longer in style, and Korean cars are actually becoming a byword for initial quality and reliability, which the Genesis proved long ago with the initial Hyundai Genesis sedan. The best way to describe the G80 Sport's overall interior is that it feels like a Korean Audi or Lexus. It's a nice, quiet, spacious, and comfortable place to be, with soft touch surfaces everywhere, sturdy plastics intelligently kept out of reach, and doors that close with a nice resounding thud. Some of the plastics might remind you that a few parts snuck out of Hyundai's bins. But it really isn't any different from seeing Toyota bits and pieces in Lexus models, or finding Chevy parts in Cadillacs. In Genesis' case, it's all well thought out. The black leather interior might be a bit gloomy, but it's lightened up thanks to contrast-colored stitching, a microfiber suede headliner, and a mixture of real metal and carbon fiber trims. And of course, technology is very present with the German-influenced infotainment system and main control interfacing on the center console in the large LCD 9.2-inch diagonal HD color touchscreen. There are one-touch buttons for all the windows, heated and cooled memory leather front seats, heated rear seats, dual-zone automatic temperature control, a panoramic moonroof, a premium 17-speaker Lexicon stereo with Bluetooth, Sirius XM, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, a heads-up display, and Genesis roadside assistance program. Did I mention, all of that is standard? Driving experience. Back in 1992, pogo sticking to your destination would have been more ideal than driving anything made by a Korean carmaker. Thankfully, they've long since began making competitive products, and the Genesis G80 Sport is an all-new peak. Just a few years ago, parent company Hyundai and its sister, Kia, picked up a bunch of highly esteemed and very experienced German auto executives to run the show. One of the more legendary names was that of Albert Biermann, the former chief engineer of BMW's revered M division. He oversees the entire corporation's powertrain, drivetrain, and chassis and suspension development, and his magic clearly shows in the Genesis G80 Sport. The all-new 3.3-liter V6 features not one, but two turbochargers and the latest gadgetry, like dual continuously variable valve timing, direct injection, and a performance-tuned intake. The result is 365 horsepower and 376 pound-feet of twist on premium gas. Genesis says power slightly decreases when using regular. But why would you want to do that? Mash the pedal and the tech-loaded V6 and 8-speed auto rewards with a 0 to 60 time of around 5 seconds, and a torque curve flatter than the dreams of flat-earthers. If the Genesis G80 Sport's power reserves don't impress, its handling certainly will. The ventilated brakes are excellent and body control is expectedly flat and well controlled, without sacrificing a nicely dampened ride for rough and urban and city roads. Some drivers may also find the steering a little bit on the light side, and the body a bit heavy. But if anything, the heavy feeling makes the G80 feel sure-footed, planted, and confident. To an extent, it almost reminds us of the way the BMW E39 5 Series felt behind the wheel, when long suspension travel and soft spring and shock rates were still properly compensated with excellently tuned anti-roll bars and suspension geometry. With Mr. Biermann behind the scenes, we are not at all surprised by that. Warranty. All Genesis G80 models come with one of the industry's best warranties, a basic one for 5 years or 60,000 miles, and powertrain coverage for 10 years or 100,000 miles, whichever comes first. How DT would configure this car? With the Genesis G80 Sport, all equipment is bundled as standard, so no need to choose between different size touchscreens or heated seats. That said, the Genesis G80 Sport would likely handle and perform better with rear-wheel drive if you live in a warmer climate where you don't need the benefits and weight of AWD. The engine doesn't generate enough power to necessitate it, And a good set of performance all-season or winter tires should suffice for occasional snow.